Next topic is inguinal ligament. The inguinal ligament or Pourport ligament, Pourpart', Pourport's ligament. It is formed by the lower border of the external oblique aponeurosis muscle. This is formed by the lower border of the external oblique aponeurosis muscle, that is the muscle of the anterior wall of the abdomen. This muscle, it descends, it is thickened and folded. This muscle is thickened and folded to form the inguinal ligament. The extent of the inguinal ligament is from anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle, and this is formed by the folding backward of the external oblique aponeurosis, that is the aponeurosis of the muscle of the anterior abdominal wall, and it lies beneath the fold of the groin. This is lying between the fold of the groin, that is the fold between the fold between the abdomen and the thigh, and its medial half is grooved upward and is more horizontal. Then the attachments of this inguinal ligament, the fascia lata. This region is the groin region. So here is the attachment. Below to it is attached the deep fascia of thigh, that deep thickened fascia of thigh, that is called the fascia lata. So below to it there is attachment of the fascia lata, which keeps it tight. And on the upper surface, this upper surface of the inguinal ligament, it is giving origin to the two muscles of the anterior abdominal wall, that is internal oblique abdominis muscle from the lateral two-third. From the lateral two-third there is origin of the internal oblique abdominis muscle, and the transverse abdominis muscle from the lateral one-third, and to the cremaster muscle. Cremaster muscle rises from the medial side. From the medial side, this inguinal ligament, it is giving origin to the cremaster muscle, and from the lateral side it is giving origin to the internal oblique abdominis and the transverse abdominis muscle. See, this is external oblique abdominis muscle. It is folded backward to form a ligament. This ligament is the inguinal ligament from anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle. When it is folded backward, inside this inguinal ligament there is a canal that is called the inguinal canal. This is the diagram of anterior abdominal wall. This is rectus abdominis. This is the inguinal ligament from anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle. Now the inguinal canal. Inguinal canal, it is an intermuscular passage present in the lower part of the abdomen, just above the medial half of the inguinal ligament. This is the inguinal ligament. This is the medial side of medial half of the inguinal ligament, just above the medial half of the inguinal ligament. See this passage. This passage is called the inguinal canal. And the length of this canal, it extends. The length is about 4 centimeters long, and this is directed. It is directed downward, forward, and medially. This is directed downward, forward, and medially. And this canal, it extends from the superficial inguinal ring. This lower one is the superficial inguinal ring, and this is the deep inguinal ring. Now, what is deep inguinal ring? The deep inguinal ring, it is an oval opening. This is an oval opening. That opening is present in the fascia of the transfascia. That opening is present in the fascia transversalis. Just 1.2 centimeters over the mid-inguinal point. This is inguinal ligament. This is mid-inguinal point. 1.2 centimeters above the mid-inguinal point, this oval opening is called the deep inguinal ring, and this is present in the fascia transversalis. And the superficial inguinal ring. This is the superficial inguinal ring. This is a triangular gap in the external oblique aponeurosis. In the aponeurosis of the external oblique muscle, it is shaped like an obtuse angle. The base of the triangle is formed by the pubic crest. It is a base that is formed by the pubic crest, and the two sides of the triangle, they form the lateral or lower and the medial or the upper margin. These are the two margins, lower and the upper margin. It's triangular and its base is formed by the pubic crest. Then it is 2.5 centimeters long. This is 2.5 centimeters long and 1.2 centimeters in breadth, and these margins are said as crura. At the end, beyond the apex of the triangle, the two crura are united by the intercrural fibers. Next are the anterior walls. This is the inguinal canal. Again, This is above the medial half of the inguinal ligament is the inguinal canal. It extends from the superficial inguinal opening to the deep inguinal opening. Deep is present just above the mid-inguinal point, 1.2 centimeters above the mid-inguinal point, and this is the superficial inguinal ring, which is the triangular. This is the base, these are two margins, and this is the apex. Now the boundaries of this canal. The anterior wall, it is covered anteriorly by skin, superficial fascia, and the external oblique aponeurosis. And in the lateral 1/3, the fleshy fibers of the, towards the lateral side, it is covered by the, anteriorly it is covered by the fibers of the internal oblique muscles. Then the posterior wall, behind this is present the fascia transversalis, the extraperitoneal tissue, the peritoneal tissue, and in its medial side, towards the medial side, there is a conjoint tendon, and at its medial end there is a reflected part of the inguinal ligament. Roof is formed by the arched fibers of the, it is covered above by the arched fibers of the internal oblique and the transverse abdominis muscle. Here is the fibers of the internal oblique and the transverse abdominis. And floor, it is formed by the grooved surface of the inguinal ligament and the medial and by the lacunar ligament. It is formed by the inguinal ligament and the lacunar ligament, they form the floor. Now sex difference. The inguinal canal, it is larger in males than females. The structures passing through the canal, we have already done. The spermatic cord, it is a continuation of epididymis. Then from the epididymis is present at the posterior side of the testes. From the epididymis starts the spermatic cord. This or the vas deferens. Then vas deferens, it moves into the inguinal canal, and it is covered by the fascia to form the spermatic cord. So the content of the inguinal canal is the spermatic cord, and in females it is the round ligament. Then ilioinguinal nerve enters the canal through the interval between the internal and the external oblique muscle and passes out through the superficial inguinal ring. Then the constituents of the spermatic cord. What are the constituents of spermatic cord? Spermatic cord, it contains the ductus deferens, testicular and the cremasteric arteries, and the artery of the ductus deferens, then the pampiniform plexus of veins, then is the lymph vessels from the testis and the genital branch of the genitofemoral nerve, and the sympathetic plexus of the nerves, and the artery of the ductus deferens, and visceral afferent nerve fibers, and remains of the processus vaginalis. Then are the coverings of the spermatic cord. From within outward, there are as follows. First of all, the coverings, they are the internal spermatic fascia, which is derived from the fascia transversalis, and it also covers the cord in its whole extent. Then is the cremasteric fascia. It is made of the muscle loop constituting the cremaster muscle. And there is the external spermatic fascia. This is derived from the external oblique aponeurosis, and it covers the cord below the superficial inguinal ring. So this is all about the superficial and the deep inguinal ring, inguinal canal, spermatic cord, and the coverings and constituents of the spermatic cord. See, this is the inguinal ligament. Above the inguinal ligament, this is the inguinal canal. This is superficial inguinal ring. This is the deep inguinal. This is epididymis. This is the vas deferens. When it goes, it enters into it. It goes inside the spermatic cord. Then it moves into the false pelvis, then true pelvis, then prostrate. This is the diagram showing the inguinal. This is inguinal ligament. This is inguinal canal. This is roof and floor. This is the showing the boundaries of the inguinal canal.